Live here on the YouTubes. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm live on YouTube and clean shaven.
Hello. Oh, I wish I could see that. Damn it.
It's nutty, dude. It is a crazy.
Yeah.
I have not been fully clean shaven in like a decade.
Well, what happened was I was looking at my beard on my face, and I was like, I got these little straggly hairs. What if I just trim those so I just have regular full beard part? And so I turned down. I was like, oh, this side's a little, and this side. And then next thing I know, I have the chin strap beard.
Yeah, and that's not a good look.
It's not 2002.
Chin strap's not good.
It's not 2002, man. Got to get rid of it.
Hey, I'm not a cast member of the Jersey Shore, nor an MMA fighter.
So I was like, "Vaya con Dios, beard."
I accidentally shaved off my goatee in 2016 toward the beginning of the year, and with losing the weight, my jawline has gotten pretty severe. So I look like I've seen shit. I actually look like 10 years older without my goatee.
Now, see, that's weird because I have shaved and I look remarkably younger.
Yeah. You are back to the future Nader. You're Benjamin.
Without my facial hair, I look like I'm 11 years old.
Yeah, it is.
But I look like an 11-year-old with crow's feet.
Yeah, 11-year-old who's seen some shit.
Without mine, I look like I should be smoking cigarettes and talking about time being a flat spiral.
Nice one. 11-year-old Brandon grew up in Croatia. I've seen things, man. I've seen things. So there is no Maggie this week, but I want to get right into it. Let's get the show started. Let me call up the soundboard of comedy. And welcome everybody to the Funny Guy at Work. I am Nate. I am the host of the show. I like to hang out in the kitchen at parties. And I also enjoy black coffee and IPAs, which according to the internet makes me a raging psychopath.
No.
Oh, it does. There have been 2 articles that say, you like IPAs? You might be a psychopath.
Now, maybe I just like strong bitterness profiles in my food and beverages.
That's what they say is the strong bitterness profiles as a flavor.
But liking a nice hoppy IPA is a little different than just like eating a lemon with an orange, eating a lemon like an apple without peeling it.
Oh, and black coffee. And
that's what it's like. Cause like if I saw somebody eating a lemon like an apple, that's a psycho.
I think that's just a monster.
Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?
No. But that voice you hear is our one and only, the soul of Boatown, the treetop lover. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dino. Oh, damn it, the fuck. That was way too quiet. One more time. Come on. Agnes, cue up that pipe organ again. Thank you. That is Agnes Abernathy from down at St. Christopher's Catholic Church. She comes in every week just to play Dino's Sting on the pipe organ. Now, carry it out, Agnes.
Don't feel bad for her. We pay her $3,000 per sesh.
Sesh. Yeah. But and also coming from his home known as the Danctuary, we call him Count Dabula, a.k.a. the Half-Blunt Prince. It is our good friend Eddie, a.k.a. Giblet.
Good evening. I am confused. Where is Shake Your Tail Feathers?
Oh, fuck. That's right. That's right. I forgot.
I like that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
I had this idea for a skit in my head. Like, I would never actually write this because I think it's too weird. But it's basically me after you played that for me. And everywhere I go, every conversation I start with someone, is like the last scene in Bad Boys, where it's just like everybody kind of laughs it off and starts playing, and I slowly go insane.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta update the music files because if you missed the show last week,
It was epic, man.
yeah, we have a new theme for Eddie, and right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we can legally play.
Yeah, it's fitting that it's a Nelly and Puff collabo. That's Eddie's new theme. Because whenever I see him, I'm like, "Whoa, Nelly! Here's Puff Daddy."
Oh, Nelly, he's always puffing.
Because he enjoys this sweet, awesome, legal marijuana.
Cannabis. These snobs call it cannabis here in the Rocky Mountains.
That's just plain old weed, dog.
The whole thing, they're trying to make it more socially acceptable and shit, so they're trying to get away from the colloquialisms. No more, people don't call it weed or pot here. It's usually cannabis or marijuana.
I strictly say a spliff.
Yeah.
Just having a spliff.
Ain't no thing. It comes from the earth.
And welcome to it.
Shout out on the show official to Nate's sister, Amy Larson. She asked if it's too early for what you're drinking. Yes. God damn it.
That's early. But you know what? We're an interactive show, so let's just get it out of there. We're going to play the nation's fastest growing party game, or the Multiverse's fastest growing party game. We get downsized. The Tri-City areas do budget cuts.
Yeah. Marquette is coming into Ghani, the Tri-Cities.
The Tri-Cities.
Guys, remember when we were across the universe?
When we took the space shuttle to isn't that the school that does the space shuttle thing?
Those fucking Gamorreans were trying to get in without speaking basic.
And we were like,
that's like we have like 2 rules, man.
Yeah, there's only 2.
Yeah, you don't even need to be drinking something. Jesus.
Yeah, it's really, if you're not drinking anything, you just say, I'm not actually drinking anything.
Yeah, and then you talk about a TV show or something.
Yep, and then you're just like, here's something I don't like about my job. But yeah, you just go around the room, ask everybody what they're drinking. You might find something new. So that's it. Let's do it. So you know what? Since we're kicking it off strong, starting off hot, game out the gate. Dino, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some of my my Dr. Stubbs pre-made old fashions because I'm classy, but I'm also too lazy to make an old fashioned.
I'm a busy man. That's the
I got baseball to watch. I can't be muddling cherries.
That's it's just like an old guy like in an easy chair. Like they're just like the whole thing. It's like Dr. Stubbs pre-made old fashioned. But you don't want to make an old fashioned yourself. It's just this old guy's like, I'm a busy man.
And he's just reading the paper.
Yeah, clearly not busy.
No, it's I really enjoy this. I wish they still had it because when I bought it, it was like on clearance for $8.
Yeah.
I have not seen it since.
Well,
next time I want an old fashioned, I'll actually have to make one. Like
a common pygmy. Well, you know what? I'm going over to our friends here, Dino. I'm going to visit our friends over at Amazon.com. Amazon.com putting the little man out of business.
Yeah.
Well, you know they got a nice tax return this year, so they're actually gonna buy their own merchandise at Amazon. That's what you do with your tax return. Is you buy stuff on Amazon. So
I did my taxes the last possible day you could do them, and was pleasantly surprised that I did not owe Uncle Sam money. because about half the people I work with did. So I don't know what the difference is.
That is weird.
Because we all make within I don't know, like one standard deviation of each other. So I don't know how half of us owed and half of us did not.
I gave a lot of money. I had a nice refund, but unfortunately it all went to my student loans. So, but here you go,
stinks.
Dino. They didn't have Dr. Stubbs Old Fashioned mix, but here's what they do have, and I know you'll be all over this. Minute Mixology cocktail mixers. Low calorie, all natural ingredients, drink mix for liquor, spirits, and non-alcoholic beverages. Spiced old fashioned, 16 packets for $15.99. It's like a Crystal Light packet, but it tastes like it's old fashioned seasonings.
Now, do you just put that in water and it's like a low calorie old fashioned you're drinking then?
It's basically cherry, orange, bitters, and spice.
So you just get yourself like a nice glass of cold rye whiskey.
Yep.
And dump this packet into it, and then give it a little stir, a little shake.
Yep.
Huh.
There you go. And if with Prime Pal, it ain't no shipping. Ain't shipping that shit. It's all free.
Now that's a tax cab confession.
That's a tax cab confession right there. Yeah, hey, will I try it? Yes. Well, do I also think that it has a very high potential to be awful? Yes.
Yes.
Because it's like, what's the ratio? Is it going to be too orangey? Is the cherry going to taste fake? Is it going to be shitty bitters? Shitty Bitters is actually our new sponsor, by the way. Shitty Bitters.
Shitty Bitters, yep. Shitty Bitters when they don't have Dagnasturo. Shitty Bitters.
Hey, wait, that's all bitters.
I would just be tempted to like try to make simple syrup and like put some orange peel and a couple of cherries in that guy, and then that's your pre-made old-fashioned mix.
Wait, you mean in addition to that?
No. Do that on the stove. Just make some simple syrup and throw like a bunch of orange zest.
I see.
And a cherry and a couple of cherries.
You mean make your own?
Right, and then you just squirt that. You pour some whiskey, squirt that in there, and stir.
Hey, what if you got like one of those coffee barista bottles, like at the gas station? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, then it's just like tap tap. Yes.
Yep. That would be good.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yes. I wish there was an animated GIF of me just pointing and yelling "yes" at the camera like this was. Yes.
So anyway, that's that. That's what I'm drinking. It's just some pre-made old fashions. So I'm gonna throw it to Giblet. Giblet, hey, what you drinking?
Well, it's interesting that you asked. I am drinking a little bit of A&W root beer, but
the pronouncing it root beer, it makes my little heart go pitter patter.
Root beer.
That's just for beer tonight. I'm gonna have me some Bullet Rye.
Nice.
A little shot or two.
Now, if you had some tequila, you make yourself dirty rattlesnake.
I still can't believe that happened in real life. That I know the guy who did that. Because that's an urban legend you hear about. It's like passed from campus to campus.
Nate, would you please yell again? Once again, I've heard this before, but I'd like to hear it again.
We did it on the. I did it on the show. It's root beer and tequila. It's a dirty rattlesnake.
Oh, when was that? Was that during my era?
Yeah. It was like 2 years ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it's and it's called a dirty rattlesnake because it'll bite you.
You do this for a fucking long time.
It's called the dirty rattlesnake because it's poison.
It'll bite you, and you'll want to call your mama and say goodbye.
Your sister is drinking an American brown ale rich with notes of chocolate and caramel and a mild hop finish. Brought to you by Cuban Brewing Company. She presents Lift Bridge.
Mm-hmm. I saw her drinking that the other night on Facebook. I thought it sounded pretty tasty.
Yes. Also, she asked if Shitty Bitters was in the Half-Blood Prince. I think so. Was it that one of the elves?
Yeah.
Shitty Bitters was one of the elves. And
Hello, Governor. I'm Shitty Bitters, the goblin.
you give Shitty Bitters a hat. Shitty Bitters is free elf. You stupid whore.
Just an angry cockney.
Horrible person, a horrible elf, just a wretched soul, like the mean elf, the mean house elf who lives in
Sirius Black.
yeah, Sirius Black's parents' house. Yeah,
I know his name is Creature. All of these filthy half-bloods,
yeah,
filthy half-bloods muddying up my master's house.
It made me laugh when I read that part in the book because I pictured him like doing like the magic equivalent of the N-word and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
really just laying it in there.
Oh yeah,
It's really inappropriate stuff.
the book made him way more cantankerous and mean. I wish they would have. I mean, I understand it was for children, but I really would have liked it if he'd just like been just wretched, like just filthy.
See, like that actually puts me in mind of like a comedy sketch idea for you in your writing class there, Nathan.
Mm.
You could have two Muggleborns who call each other mud as a reappropriation of the bad word.
Like, what up, Mudblood?
What up,
Exactly. Exactly. And then they can't and then they yell at someone for saying it. No, that's our word now.
That's we're taking it back. We're taking them all back.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta complete the quote.
I know you can. Just like
Yeah.
to this day, if someone says it's true, I'll go, it's true. It's damn true.
It's damn true.
You're a man of a certain age. There are certain call and responses.
There are certain things that you have to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's true. That's true. I guess that is a real nice age tell. When depending on how you respond to certain things.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm drinking. Hey, Nate, what are you drinking?
well, I don't see how that's any of your business.
Oh,
Like that's how the game ends, folks. That's the final episode.
Yep.
Yes,
The final episode of Hey, What You Drinking?
I don't see that's any of your business or yours.
Yes, I'm drinking. Mind your own fucking business. How about that?
that's what happens a lot in the early rounds of the competitions.
I'm drinking some beeswax made by the Not Yours company.
I'm having a big glass of Nunya. Actually, what I'm drinking, I've said it before, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll say it again. I love it. I have joined the nation. I have joined the White Claw Nation. I'm drinking another tall boy of White Claw. Black cherry. The only two tall boys that I've seen are black cherry and pink grapefruit.
Now here's the thing about, and it's a question I feel like I need to ask you about White Claw hard seltzer water.
Yeah.
You hate LaCroix.
I do.
Hate it. But you like White Claw seltzer, which is the same thing but with booze in it.
I think.
But I guess I just answered my own
I
question.
think, yeah, I really.
But
I like that it's got for a 5% booze drink, which is about the equivalent of an
that's
American
a
beer.
It's a standard. That's a bog standard beer.
Yeah. So, but it's got a nice clean finish. It's not as sharp as a LaCroix in the seltzeriness. I think the booze kind of smooths that out.
Yep. It's got a Toivo coming out of the bathtub. A nice clean finish.
Oh.
Yay.
Straightening my non-existent tie. Oh.
Woohoo! That's some good regional humor.
Michigan-based. Actually, it's fun that you did that, Dino, because I have a Michigan story to tell.
Oh, fun.
So
I'm from there.
Me too. So Spring Lake, Michigan, little town north of here. I actually go there with part of my new job as a driving person. The town of Spring Lake is this little tiny one-horse town. I mean, nothing crazy. It doesn't have like a Walmart in it or anything. It's just right outside of Grand Haven. And the town of Spring Lake has a resident who took it upon himself to create an Onion-style page on Facebook, parroting, just doing I think it's called like the Spring Lake News. And the town commissioner has gone after this person. And at the time that she went after him, the page had about 15 likes. She goes after him on her Facebook page, and it gets picked up by the local media. The page now has 15,000 likes.
Nice.
And the town of Spring Lake is now questioning the commissioner's ability to, I guess, pick her battles, because had she just ignored it and let it be a thing and just in the ether that nobody really cared about, never would have gone anywhere. But the fact
I'm just going to go ahead and assume, since it's supposed to be like satirical, that this page was just like satirizing the mundanity of living in a small town.
Oh, yes. Let me see if I can call it up here.
It's like gas station gets third pump.
Spring Lake Satire Facebook here when you do a Google search. It's called Village of Spring Lake Satire is the actual name of the page. Not even clever.
You see, satire, much like rings in Middle Earth, should always be taken seriously. Shouldn't just be like creating like Onion-style shit whenever you feel like it, man. Like the kind of editorial crowd that makes up the Onion. It is some of the sharpest and hardest editorial work there is in all of journalism, to be able to decide what is funny and what isn't funny based on just that cursory little look. You can't just do that out of nowhere, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like trying to say, like, me and my buddy MST3K to a movie. Yeah, and I'm sure it was really funny.
That's really fucking awful, man.
I bet it was really hilarious. I bet you did a really great job.
It's like 98% you had to be there, and I wasn't there, and I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's City of Muskegon official has asked us to clear up a misconception. The City of Muskegon is not owned by Mercy Health. They just own most of the buildings.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's just like, just so people are aware, the new Spring Lake Village government page that popped up is not me. I figured that would happen when this hit the media, sure enough. Let's see. Free Beer and Hot Wings, radio station based out of Grand Rapids. It's a national radio show, but they're based on GR. Free Beer and Hot Wings, a.k.a. the generic Howard Stern show, said this is the best GR has to offer when it comes to comedy. Thanks for the shout-out, though. Seriously, though, glad you guys got a laugh or two. Let me see here. Let me find it. An official from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, a.k.a. North Korea, a.k.a. Best Korea, messaged me demanding an apology for likening their government to the village of Spring Lake. After careful consideration, it was unfair to North Korea to make that comparison. On behalf of the Village of Spring Lake satire page, I would like to sincerely apologize to North Korea for insulting their beloved leader, and I look forward to better relations between our page and your country in the future. This is the kind of shit. The city commissioner was like, "Hey, you booger
you can't
eater."
even joke about North Korea.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Just how much garbage that is. Shared. No, I'm not sharing that in Messenger. It is really it was just a dumb thing that should have just been ignored. But that just goes to show, in today's world, you got to be careful. Like those people will grab onto that 15 minutes of fame and go all P.T. Barnum on it, and just be like, just make sure you spell my name right. They don't care.
Yep.
Make me a meme. Make me, cash me outside. How about that? Everybody wants to be the next Kardashians, man.
Everybody wants to be the next Kardashians.
Yeah, it's just so how much garbage that is. It is ridiculous. Just I also said
Yeah,
I said this in my writing class a couple weeks ago. I was like, we live in a Cobra Kai society. We want to, when it comes to talking to people, you want
I don't know what that
to.
means, but I like it.
Well, it's because you want to strike fast, strike hard, and show no mercy. When you're on the internet,
Yeah.
people are vicious. They don't. They aren't. There is no decorum. There is no societal pleasantries. It is get in there, be wretched, and get out. And it's Cobra Kai on the internet, man. And by that, you'll often get schooled by a young punk kid.
Yep. That is how I feel when I play online video games.
Yes.
I will get schooled by some high school kid.
It happens to me constantly.
I don't actually really play online anymore. Ever since many moons ago, when I was playing WWE 2K something like older 2K game, and I was playing against these two characters who were like who just had these like urban like rap characters were their characters, and I came out with the Ric Flair robe as the superstar, and I was beating them both, and they rage quit the match, and then they went on for the next hour constantly challenging me to a 2-on-1 handicap match, and I was like, well, that's not gonna be that's not fun. Why? Like, you literally just want to both of you beat me up is what you're actually asking. Is the kid? It's like, oh, you're better than me?
The sad part is they were probably young children.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, if they were adults, you could be like, wow, those people have fucking problems. But they're probably kids and like, hey, let's see if you'll do a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Well, and then that's also why, I'm like, hey, it's kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I cut my teeth on wrestling games. When I played wrestling games, there were no special moves. You waited for a thing to bounce. Good night, my dear sister. You waited for an icon to bounce across the back of the ring, and you caught it to get life back. That is WrestleMania for the Super Nintendo or for the Nintendo. Interesting.
Yep. Or yeah, if you were me, you waited for a dollar sign. I always played $1 Million Man.
I always waited for sunglasses as I played as the Macho Man.
I think I looked for chicken legs. I played as Yokozuna.
It was Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. Yes.
Yeah, it looked like a big ham, like a cartoon ham.
He did. Big Kim's ham. But yeah, so I was really impressed with that Michigan news story. And now, I don't know if you guys...
Yes, the moral of the story is, just like if no one's paying attention to it, you yelling at it will bring attention to it.
Yeah, hey, everybody, look at that thing! That's basically what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have seen the likes, if it would have been like 15 likes. All right, he and his buddies think this is hilarious. The end. Kind of like this show.
Indeed.
Evident by my 0 of YouTube viewers.
Right. So I guess someone yell at us about something.
Those guys are mean to Donald Trump.
I keep smoking on the air, hoping it'll get me in some kind of trouble, because then that means somebody had to watch. But
you live in a state where that is like fine though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess
Federally, it's illegal, man. That's what I like when people say that all the time. Federally, it's illegal. Yes, thank you for bringing it up. You'll probably just use it to buy beer.
Probably just use it to buy beer.
Probably just buy beer. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today, it's that these are not news. These are not like Mueller report bubble news stories at all. This one comes from our good friends at Walmart. It's not anything that they did specifically, like cut benefits or anything like that, What it is the abomination of their new radio ad. Have you heard this, guys? Now, Ed, I know you
No.
haven't. You don't listen to the radio. Dino, though, I know you have a commute in the morning. But you said you have not heard it.
No.
What it is, all right? So I'm driving on the road, and I hear the Ghostbusters theme kick up. And so it starts off, and there's a guy who isn't even trying to sound like Ray Parker Jr., but he's just like, so you got a big family, and they all want a snack? Who are you going to call? And then, no lie, literally goes like this. Who are you going to call? Walmart grocery pickup! Walmart grocery pickup! Instead of Ghostbusters.
I mean, it does follow the old commercial principle that I like to call your local car dealership principle, where the shittier the ad, the more you'll remember it.
Oh, yeah. It activates the part of the brain that made me remember it, because I only heard it the one time. But what made me so mad is that they tried to shoehorn Walmart grocery pickup into where the word Ghostbuster should be.
Yeah,
So it was like, who are you going to call?
Oh.
It would be like, Sam Friedman, attorney at law. Just
here, the shitty thing is I'm gonna be walking around tomorrow at work, and at some point, that entire thing you just said will run through my head 30 times in a loop.
Yeah.
You don't even need to hear the real.
You don't need to. I was gonna try to find the audio and everything. I was like, no, you'll hear my version of it, and you'll be, then somebody will be like, hey, what are you thinking about? And I'll be like, who are you gonna call? Walmart grocery pickup. And also, they do it. They even go up.
I'll probably remember this commercial that I haven't even heard forever. Because if you woke me up out of a dead sleep and asked me what the specific gravity of nitrogen is, and that's something I have to do literally every day, I'd be like, wait a minute, let me think for a second. But if you woke me up out of a dead sleep and said, here, dog, come on, dog, I would start singing, me and Dog want you to go to Telegraph. And that commercial hasn't run in 20 years.
Yeah. Get a good deal.
Get a good deal. Ray Whitfield Ford on Telegraph Road.
How does Garrett manage to text us whenever we're doing the show, even when we're not doing it?
Always. Yeah, always. The man's got a beacon.
I think he sees that the show is on and is like, I'm just going to do the Garrett thing I do, where I send text messages and act like I have no idea what a massive inconvenience I am.
Yep. and they all just say, hey, little Schlurmy, and then it's a YouTube link.
Yeah.
Something dumb.
What?
The other day in a chat that Eddie, Garrett, and I are in, he asked the question. He was like, hey, how about Jared Leto, right? It's Leto still.
Yeah, he does. Sure.
And he's like, how about Jared Leto as Morpheus the Vampire? And Ed and I don't respond.
Yeah, because I don't have a fucking opinion. And, when I don't have an opinion about something, I don't say anything.
And it was also 4:00 in the goddamn morning that message.
Yeah, that's BTW.
So, nothing happens. We're going on about our days. Ed's getting out, I'm working. Ed's getting out of the old rackaroo, reading the trade papers of the latest Overwatch. And so I get it's like, Garrett has sent a voice clip. And so I'm like, oh man, these are always a delight. It's usually some story about some old lady buying eggs and she's talking to the eggs or some bullshit. And so he just goes, maybe I'll ask this question again. What do you think of Jared Leto as Morpheus the Vampire? He literally shouted it at us.
Demanded, and he all but demanded a response from us.
You guys should have responded to see if you would have put skywriting over your house or something. How far would it go?
Surrender Dorothy, and how about that Jared Leto or Morpheus Vampire Joker? Huh?
Yeah, huh? Guys.
$.
with the lost context of the interwebs, I never know if he's like trying to provoke us or if he's legitimately hurt that we have not responded to this ridiculous
It's like,
celebrity gossip news.
I don't know. Isn't he the Joker? Isn't he the Joker in the new Joker? No, Joaquin Phoenix is the new Joker. Yeah, that's right. I think Joaquin Phoenix in the new Joker, this looks more like a Buffalo Bill origin story.
Yeah, this
It
looks like falling down, but Batman.
He looks like Buffalo Bill. He looks like Ed Levine, a young Ed Levine in the early part of the movie. I was like,
you fuck me? I'll fuck me.
right, would you? That's the basis for Chris Griffin. I did not know that.
I feel like DC is trying to make me like Marvel more.
It's all part of their plan. Well, Marvel's owned by Disney. DC is now owned by 20th Century.
Warner Brothers, I think?
Sony or Warner Brothers? One
Yeah,
of the two.
I think it's Warner Brothers. But it's all the same. It's all the same. Fucking get out of here. That's me having too many White Claws. Comic books is all punchy punch, man.
I had 2 shots of that room, and I am done. Done.
So yesterday, I'm packing my youngest son's lunch, trying to find a cooler pack for him because he had left his in his lunch bag, so he couldn't take it that day. I was like, I swear there's another one in here, and I'm looking, and I was like, oh, it's way here back, must have back here in the freezer, and I pull it out, and it's like a bottle of Evan Williams, like one shot out of it. And I
think I can remember that bottle.
And I was like, hey, Dad found his own ice pack. It's time to put the fun back in Monday. But yeah. So yeah. Mueller report, huh?
Hey, Nate, I'm gonna put you on blast here. What about the other show that you used to do? You ever feel like going back to that?
Audio only, yeah. I wanted to revamp it. I wanted to do interviews with people. Like sit down and talk to people who are in the media and like Michigan media specifically, kind of like and do a more serious show with it. And what it turned into was a scheduling nightmare. What it turned into was none of us were I was not able to get a time where I was available for any one person at the time that they were available.
Yeah.
So it didn't kind of work out. I thought about going with the It's Still Good concept about talking about classic television, but the problem with that
talked about that.
is that doing a podcast like that at this point is just like I could just go over to my Conan O'Brien poster and tell him everything because there's that many podcasts of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I looked up Golden Girls podcast one time. I was like, I wonder how many there are. And there's like a dozen. My favorite being is one that's called Out on the Lanai. I really like that. I thought that was a clever name for their podcast. Yeah. But I'm like, well, now, if I want to do, I'd like to go back and do another different podcast than this one, the Roundtable Talking Heads podcast. But now it's just like, what do I want to do? Because near the end, when I was doing audio only, I was just basically doing Writer's Almanac, which was fun, but it's been done. I've been done very well. So, so there you go. You put me on blast, and that's what happened. No, it's it was a good question because I like doing it. And I really like recording podcasts and things, but I'd like to try to do a friend of the show, I can only assume, and high school chum, Nick LaFave, has a podcast that he does called From My Desk, where he talks about life and things, being an anchor, being in the media, and being a dad. He's a new dad. His kid's like a year old now, not so new. You want to have another one, pal? and it's but I would like to do something like that. I think that would be a fun juxtaposition from the fun wackiness that we do on the show.
Yeah. Right.
Or we've teased a lot of ideas because I guess it's time to break. We might as well break this now. What with it being halfway through April, we are going to take the summer off this year. Because I think having this like we did all year this past year, and it was a lot of fun. But I think having the summer off gives us a chance to like recharge the batteries. We come back in the fall and we're just like, yeah, man, we're so excited to do this show again. And we'll have new ideas and more bits and maybe try to bring back game night on a heavier rotation, I think would be a fun gimmick to get that going. I love game night. As do as everyone here on the panel does. We all love playing the games. So,
yeah.
Especially Eddie. Eddie has, and so Dino as well, has a host of board games. I have, Cards Against Humanity and Poop the Game. Because I
think during the summer, if we're going to take the hiatus, I may try and get a role-playing game together via Facebook Live through
Facebook Live.
Summer. Facebook Live.
Yeah.
To do some Call of Cthulhu or something via Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I would like to. I'll be doing another writing class. I'm going to write my writing class now. I'll be on to writing 2 for the next 8 weeks, and I don't know how many levels there are. I think there's either 3 or 4, and I want to be able to
all the way to the top.
Yeah, I want to complete all 4 by the time so I can be somebody who did all 4, and I think it'll be a lot. I think I've really enjoyed this class. It started out pretty easy to toot my own horn. I had some sketches in mind that I just put pen to paper and then they were done. But I also got to do some new things and I learned some things here. At,
the fact that it's easy, that frees your mind to kind of get in the groundwork and the foundation of how things are laying out and, get back into the rhythm of going to school and shit.
Well, I mean, it's not really like school. I don't get grades on my sketches. It's what I would really nothing against the group of people that I've been working with now. They're very nice people. They're very fun people. It comes back to my thing that I hate about peer review is when you come in with a thing that you've created and no one has anything to say. I mean, obviously you have to be constructive. I can't just like pure dribble. Like that's not welcome. But it's hard when you come in when it's my turn to critique and I give constructive criticism and compliments and everything, and then it's like when I read, it's like, oh, that was nice. It's like, bitch, I didn't pay $200 to hear nice.
Yeah. Although the thing is, a lot of those classes, people they don't pay to get their skills better. They just pay to get their current skills validated. So they're not really interested in giving or receiving criticism. They're just looking for somebody to give them a deadline and something to write about.
Right. Because the thing was when you went around the room, you asked why you wanted to take these classes. I was like the only person who was like, I'm just trying to hone my skills as a comedy writer. That's I want to learn more. And other people were like, I told myself I was gonna take this class this year. And then she did like one class, maybe 2.
Yeah, the tough part is when you find people who want it both ways. They want to improve their skills as a writer, but they don't want to fucking do the work. And that gets tough. But that's a whole different thing.
Right. Yeah. We're all members of the craft, all 3 of us. We've all written some things. We've all written something. I mean, I do have my video that has 7,000 views of the Hitler Allen Comedy Hour, which is like 3 minutes long.
I will forever be a little bit red ass that Bill Mazinski's Chinese restaurant Emporium didn't get more views because that was fucking gold.
Oh yeah, that was one. I used that in my audition for my voice acting skills to audition for the troupe for the company that I now am taking the classes for. So I mean, a lot of people knew I had comedy chops. You know what I mean? Because but I was like, it's written in the byline. I didn't write it. I just performed it. So they knew I had performing. You can turn a phrase, and then I set the script for Be On It Security as well, and then
another just man. I was on some shit when I came up with that idea.
you said Be On It Security, and then I wrote the script because much like we flip flopped basically because I always said that there's a place where you buy, like all Chinese restaurants buy the big blocky red letters.
Yep, and then I took that ball and ran with it, and then I came up with the idea. Be On It Security is a security company that will protect any valuable item by putting a B on it.
Yeah.
BEE.
Yeah. Put a B on it. Yeah. And then I just went totally absurd. One of my favorite parts of that sketch is where the robber sees the B on the valuables and picks up the phone without dialing and says, "Hello, police store." Because it's like it's intentionally just horrible acted. Hello, police store, come arrest me. I'm Tony Palumbo. Yeah, and I think a fun thing will be to do is once all of my sketches are written and punched up, we could do a fun. We'll have those banked as table reads.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I'll have a great time with that shit.
So now, do you guys got any big plans for Bunny Day? Notice nobody calls it Bunny Day. They call it Thanksgiving Turkey Day because you have turkey, Easter Bunny.
Right. Everybody calls St. Patrick's Day Leprechaun Day. Easter doesn't get its love.
Leprechaun Day. Hey, what are you guys doing for too much drinking day? You mean New Year's? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going downtown for the Potatoes McWhiskey Parade.
Joseph, you had a chance to dig into Monster Hunter World yet?
I have not. It came out today.
Excellent.
Yeah, today it came out on Pass. So
I'll have to blow the dust off that. We can go kill some dinosaurs together.
That could be a lot of fun with friends, man.
I'm gonna give it a try here on Saturday because I don't have anything going on Saturday proper. Sunday we're doing obviously what the Parisians call Easter dinner, and having the ham and the cheesy potatoes and the whatever the hell else you have on Easter Sunday. I'm like always like, wait, are there going to be 3 desserts? It's a big meal. Big meals always have 3 desserts. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Is there another one? Is there one? 4th of July. Most of those desserts. That's the one. I think that's the one holiday where I'm not offended if there's fruit as a dessert in the form of watermelon.
Right, because it's hot that day.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. But if somebody,
the rest of your large feast holidays are usually cooler weather.
Yeah, like if here on Easter, if somebody just handed me a plate of oranges.
Yeah, that'd be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, this isn't a chocolate rabbit stuffed with caramel. Those are also today, right? You do that today on Easter. You give me a big mess of chocolate that I didn't eat all of and get a tummy ache.
Yes. You know what I was thinking? Hey, the vapes now are all the rage, as I vape here on the show. And they have the crazy flavors, the smells.
Yeah,
Do like a
you can do that with the THC and CBD bits too.
Donald Trump. So, they just got everything now. They got the smells. Have you seen these?
Many people are saying that the cotton candy vape is the best.
But
That's from a lot of people.
The weed dispensary I do for she does high vapes that mountain mint flavored, and I love it because I feel like it freshens my breath at the same time that it gets me stoned.
yeah. I mean, honestly, that sounds great, and also way better than the vape you brought last time.
Oh, that shit, man! That should work though.
It did work, but it made the house smell like a critter barn.
Yeah. but we don't care where you're going.
Hey, that's
Any road
right.
gets you there.
All roads lead to Rome, man.
Potent smells, potent stones, man.
Is that one?
Like I cannot partake of that because of my job.
Right.
And everybody else was just having just a real hoot and a holler on Nate's birthday, and it was just me in the corner with the sad Charlie Brown music playing.
I actively felt my heart actually like ached for you that night.
I was just like, aw.
A rain cloud actually formed over your head.
When I really felt bad is when Sarah and Chris were getting into it. Then I was like, oh man.
I was like, well, time to get real drunk.
Oh man, I really thoroughly enjoyed how my wife got just temporally out of hand.
Yeah, and that was one hit, man. That was like I saw what she did. It was not much.
And when I say
I haven't smoked in so long. If I did, I like 2 hits, and I would be side 2 of a Cheech and Chong record.
oh man,
And I used to be able to go hard in the paint on weed, and I cannot.
yeah,
anymore.
no, you cannot. I'll tell you right now. Speaking as someone who has done it, but obviously my tests have come back clean, so I don't do it on the reg or anything. But it's like now you smoke a peace pipe, and man, it's a whole new Hyundai, dude.
Well, it's like
It's
all the weed. Like weed is one of those things like computers where it just gets better every day.
Yeah,
It gets better, faster, and more weedy
yeah.
every day.
Literally,
And like the weed I'm used to is analogous to the compact I took to college.
yeah.
I can't even comprehend,
tubes.
Dave. I couldn't get this on the street for $20.
Oh, or like if your connection dried up, there was no alternative.
And you couldn't even like choose if you wanted it in the car sativa.
Like my mind would be blown at a legal dispensary, because I would be like, okay, well, thank you, our transaction is completed, and just to be clear, you're not going to hang out and demand that we smoke all this right now.
Well, I'm sure Michigan will probably get it soon, but the way your average dispensary works is that you go in there and you have like a one-on-one with what's called the bud tender, who's like, and they're like, hey, what?
The Stone Mallier, if you will.
Yeah, and they'll ask you, what you're interested in, if you're into indica sativa, and if you don't know, I don't know what they say specifically, but what I would tell you is go by smell and just start asking to smell everything they've got, and if it smells good, it will help you feel good too. But yeah, it's a very one-on-one experience. It's not unlike if you've ever been to an Apple store or some like high-end boutique. That's how they like to treat you at the average dispensary, also for security reasons, as well as making you feel special and whatnot.
Well, they want you to come back.
Yeah. And also they recognize that a lot of people probably don't have a lot of experience with recreational cannabis, so they want to try and be like a bartender, really, like kind of helping you figure out the strains that you like before you know it.
Well, I mean, again, to use the allegory of computers, I mean, I feel like I was using vacuum tubes, punch cards compared now. I'll be like, all right, hey, just tell me this. How much of this would I have to smoke to enjoy the Big Bang Theory? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't enjoy the Big Bang Theory. So that's going to be my litmus test when I go to my first dispensary.
If anything, my standards get higher when I get stoned because I just don't have the time for all that.
Wait, hold on.
I'm with you.
Hold on.
I will laugh at
Hold
just
on.
about anything when I'm real high, and I don't want to do that.
This
So
kid.
I would like my standards to get higher.
No. I'm putting him on blast now. Player been watching Survivor for like the last 15 years. And now he's gonna come in here.
It is two things. It's been the last 4 to 5 years. And secondly, I stand by it. I dare you. I fucking triple dog dare you. I can even tell you the specific season. I believe it is, if I remember correctly, season 32. It is the first Survivor All-Star season. It is absolutely the best game show TV there is. I stand by that.
Wait,
Was
that the
RuPaul's
one?
Drag Race is extant,
Yes.
so your argument is invalid.
Fuck RuPaul's Drag Race. That's what
Oh,
That's right.
Whoa.
I've never seen RuPaul's Drag Race. No, just
Whoa. If you like competition style shows, you should be watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
I like competition shows. I'm not so sure if I'm crazy about people being all in your face about, whatever they do,
No, man, you should seriously check it out. Just like start with season 4 or 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say
I'll
4.
tell you what, the offer still stands. You guys go, you try season 32 of Survivor. I will try season 4 or 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Now the first All Stars was Johnny Fairplay that All Stars?
No, he was not on that season.
Was that the one with the old guy Rudy was back and the guy who got naked all the time was Richard Hatch?
No, that is not this season either. Season like 32 or 33.
So then it wasn't the first. It wasn't the first All Stars that you watched then, because the first All Stars had Richard Hatch came back, and he got eliminated in the first elimination.
That's right about that. I think I tried to watch that season and didn't like it. But anyway, the All Star season, which is either season 32 or 33, that's easily the best season of Survivor I've ever seen, and I've showed it to my sister. I've showed it to Cece, and it hooks them every time. It's
sister. Yes.
And even since then, I've been up and down. Like I wouldn't recommend all of them, but I've had fun.
And also, if I can blast Survivor for a moment, because I did watch. Obviously, I was able to name drop Richard Hatch, but my problem with Survivor is you say what season are they on right now? 38?
I believe 38. Yeah.
But it's not. Because they do 2 games a year, or they
They
used
do,
to.
but I think they only air one. I don't really know what they're
They used to do
they add it down to like a fucking science.
They did like a fall one and a spring one.
Yeah, they shoot I think 2 seasons a year, but I think they only air 1 a year or some shit like that.
And so it wasn't because to be 38 seasons would mean it would go back 38 years. So
It doesn't do that. They definitely
Right.
shoot seasons. I think some years they even shoot more than that, depending on like their production budget or whatever.
But you mean broadcast, because they probably shoot a bunch of them. They could easily fly Jeff Probst to a bunch of remote locations via helicopter, have him show up and have
Yeah,
him
they
play
shoot 2 a
capture
year.
the bacon.
I don't know if that's always been the case, but they always,
Yeah, because I mean, what Simpsons is what season? Do you know, help me out here?
Yeah.
Season, because they started like what 91.
This is season 31 of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, so to make the
if
implication
you
that
want
they're
to fuck my taste in TV, I've watched every episode of the last like 3 seasons of The Simpsons, and I can't defend that shit, man. I watch it strictly because I'm a stoner and I'm looking for an easy laugh.
I was gonna say you do laugh. You'll rewind shit on your DVR and send it to us as a video clip.
Yeah, that shit is drops of water in the desert, man. Most of the time, The Simpsons is awful, but then occasionally like that joke I was telling you on that video call with Garrett about the last episode last week where Dino, have you seen the latest episode of The Simpsons?
No.
So they're doing so Springfield's doing their own take on Hamilton, and the director's a real asshole, and he's like criticizing everybody, and he's like, yeah, and these rows of corn are too high, and then they zoom to the guy working on the rows of corn, and it's the bus driver, and he's like, oh, you meant the corn. and I was dying.
Otto. Like when they went to Lollapalooza, and Lisa and Bart are like, it smells like Otto's jacket. Then, of course, the ever famous Stoner's Pot Palace, where they all sold, where it's only pots, and he walks out and he's like, "Man, that's blatant false advertising." Classic.
Yeah, I love The Simpsons dearly, but it's like seasons 1 through 10.
Oh yeah. Like a lot of people knock on season 1, especially if like I try to show it to my kids.
Oh, season 1 is so good.
It is good, but it's the original drawn on animation.
Yeah, even I have a hard time with that. Even
like visually, it's like making like how people act when they watch an SD TV.
Right. Finding us on the chat, Ryan Campbell Miller.
Ryan Campbell, BW in the Heezy.
Welcome to the show. You got the whole auditorium to yourself tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, really just get out there and explore the space.
Yeah, just really chew the scenery.
Throw your feet up. We don't give a shit.
You know what's a good cartoon though? Beetlejuice.
Oh man.
It wasn't bad.
I love the movie.
Loved the great puns, full of puns, the best puns. It was kind of. I'm not going to say it's ahead of its time.
It was a little too like grossy gross for me.
It did a lot of gross. I remember one episode they went to a Wild West ghoul town. Just saying it out loud, like, somebody pitched it.
Brian Campbell Miller also likes the cartoon.
Yeah, see, it's a good cartoon. But they go to this Wild West town, and the sheriff is named Wyatt Earp, and he belches after everything he says.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny.
Well, I remember watching it, and I remember just as a kid just getting like kind of queasy because it's just like, hey, that sounds a great idea. And it was like, oh god. And then he had a character who was a big mouth, and his name was Lipscum. It was like, yes, there were a lot of grossiness to it and a lot of fart jokes. I mean, some could say it was the pioneer of Ren and Stimpy, and those people wouldn't have a real idea of what Ren and Stimpy was doing.
Yeah, that's the other thing, and I'm like, that's the other thing. I don't know why I slid the Donald Trump thing of that one. Like, I might get my cred card pulled, but like, Ren and Stimpy, man, doesn't do it for me anymore.
That's the thing, is that, but at the time, being an you're 6th grader, you were like, oh man, this is hilarious.
It blew my wig directly off my head when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah, like I remember watching it with my parents, and they could never handle when they would do the zoom.
Yeah, the real detailed, gross smash zoom.
Yes, that SpongeBob has picked up and ran in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like it is it is. I even made a reference to that last night in the writing class, where somebody was talking about having to use a hand towel. When the people don't have hand towels in their bathroom, and then you have to use you're like, what am I supposed to use, your bath towel? Where's that been? I was like, yeah, if you zoom in on it, it's like it's all gross, and there's like a centipede crawling on it. Because
gross.
I can say that because I had one on my face.
It's got visible stink lines.
Visible stink lines. Fly is like, no, thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's a smash zoom onto a gross, crusty towel, and then it lingers just a second too long, and then there's like a foghorn.
And Dino, I will tell you, coming back to some of the things we talk about on the show, I took your advice, and I watched the Jaw Harp guy on the Gong Show.
Did you laugh?
I laughed and felt bad for the dog.
That thing tickled my absurdist bone because it's just like it's not even like the dude was playing a song on the jaw harp as much as you can. He was just like he was like it's just like aimlessly making noise with it, and there's just wrinkly ass old hound dog next to him, just looking sad.
Yeah, and embarrassed because like the dog wouldn't even look at his owner. He just kept looking off stage.
Just something about that made me laugh really hard.
The dog, you might as well. And
then the next act was 4 dudes playing tubas who are called the Tubadors, which is really good. That's a really good goof.
Now, I actually had a bit for the show that I had concocted in my mind, and I was going to say that over the summer I was going to pursue my dream of starting an all-kazoo Led Zeppelin band, cover band, and I was going to give you a taste of it by playing Led Zeppelin song on the kazoo. And I bought a kazoo at the toy store, and I got a dud kazoo, and it didn't work.
Oh, that sucks.
I was so sad. Like, I brought it home, and I got it out of the box, and I was like, hey, Mom, I'm going to make you move, going to make you sweat, going to make you groove. And then I went,
aww.
And they did like, and Sarah was like, no, you got to hum to it. I'm like, huh, and I'm like humming, and it just sounded like I was humming in a tube. Like there was no reverb, no kazooing, no kazooing. It was like Jeff Gold. There was no kazooing, and
yeah. We'll just do we'll just do a Spike Jones episode this summer, where there's a kazoo and a whoopee whistle and a cowbell and a gun.
Oh, look for Goldie! Look for Goldie to be joining us.
Yeah, finger cymbals.
Ting, ting, ting. Right into a microphone, folks. Just right up to that mic with those.
Yeah, get right up on that.
Don't be afraid of the microphone. Just put your whistle right up to it. When back in the day when we used to talk on the landline phone, and I would have marathon conversations with Garrett. Garrett was a phone conversationalist. You could easily...
Yeah. We were like teenage girls sometimes.
Yeah, hammer out 45 minutes to an hour, just shoot.
They kicked up in the air.
Just nothing going on. And but he would whistle into the phone, and it was the loudest screeching noise that came into the receiver. And I'm like, that's a microphone. You can't. You have your mouth right next to a microphone, and you're whistling this high whistle, which would, of course, only result in him tittering and hissing.
Yes.
What?
He laughs like a cobra.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I love it when people don't understand that the little thing you talk into on a phone is a microphone, and you don't have to bellow into it.
Oh, man. Especially...
Like, we have dudes at work who... Like, granted, I work in a very loud place, so they'll be outside doing something, trying to coordinate with you, and then, like, this one guy, the idea that, like, if you just talk into the microphone and you put the phone up close, we can hear you.
Yep.
You don't have to hear yourself as long as you're cognizant of the words coming out of your mouth. So this is the impression of everything. Okay, can you put that valve to 25%? Every time.
Or I'm a big fan of people when your cell phone, you get a bad connection. And they're like, what I'll do, because they're like, I can't understand you. And I'm like, well, I understand you just fine. And they're just like, I'm yelling.
Yeah.
Can you hear me by yelling?
My thing is when people openly speak on speakerphone. It's like you're saying, hey, the world is my toilet. I'll just treat society the way I feel like it. Like, thanks.
You mean walking around talking and speaking?
Yeah, like walking, like the phone in front of your fucking face like this with speakerphone on, as if you're or even sometimes, I saw this in DC a lot, and particularly people FaceTiming while they walk.
Why?
We get what we deserve.
Yeah, like if you see somebody FaceTiming while they're walking in a public street, like here's what you do: you go up and you make sure they don't notice you, and then you run up behind them and kick them real hard in the butt.
That's a great. I wish I had done that in DC when I saw it the numerous times.
But then you run away yelling, "Don't do that!"
It really grinds my gears.
Really grinds my gears.
Greatly.
Yeah, I one time Garrett, friend of the show, Goldie, he's been on the show, and we love talking about him. He's an eccentric man.
He's for lack of a better descriptor, he's a living cartoon character.
And he was like, I can't stand when I see people talking on a phone walking down the street. And it was like, wait, just talking on the phone normally? And he's like, yeah, wait till you get home.
A phone is a thing that hangs on the kitchen wall.
I was just like, what?
I'm 100.
I was like, all the other ones were like, speakerphone, the FaceTime thing, or anything, or like back in the days of the chirp, just
a phone looks like a cat. It's got a wagging tail and it hangs on your kitchen wall at your grandma's house. That's it.
It's a duck and it quacks instead of rings.
To be clear, viewers at home, Garrett is both our Kramer and our Newman.
That is maybe the best way to describe him I've ever heard.
Good. Yeah, he is the living embodiment of lawful evil. He is.
Oh, I don't think he's lawful evil. I think he's not evil.
He's chaotic neutral, straight up.
Yeah, he's the chaotic neutral.
You
Yeah,
don't
know what he's gonna do.
chaotic
Yeah.
neutral. Kind of chaotic neutral. Everybody says they want to be, so they can justify killing all the NPCs.
Which is his biggest bitch in Fallout games, is that you can't just murder him.
So you can't murder literally everyone.
Can't kill an entire town. Do I have to join the Minutemen?
And I like especially how he's offended by the idea of creation as a counterpoint to it. Like, building settlements? What?
Yeah.
I don't create, I only destroy.
I just want to find the water chip. That's it.
Find my water.
That's what I need in a Fallout game. I want to go to Junktown and then get with the casino owner and then maybe murder him, but maybe murder the sheriff. I'm dropping a lot of Fallout
Well,
1.
early. Have you ever been to a
It surprised me it doesn't play Skyrim, because you can kill more innocents in Skyrim than Fallout.
Oh, you can straight up, if your sneak is good enough, you can murder anyone in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's all open game. Skyrim, yeah.
There's 4 characters you can't murder that I can think up off the top of my head. That's it. You can kill everyone else.
Now, your own allies even. Just fuck them. Kill them all.
See, I play that Dragon Origins and the Mass Effect version of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Where you don't get to kill anyone.
Yeah, you have to be a good guy.
Yeah, you have to follow. Well, I mean, you can be a bad guy within the realm of the story. You're playing through a movie, basically, and that's what
yeah, or a fantasy novel.
Yeah. Well, depending, like if you're playing Mass Effect, like it's a lot of great cinematic scenes and stuff that erupt from the choices that you make. And but like I've said before, it's like I really like, because the one guy, the dwarf, is a storyteller, and so you're basically it's him telling the story.
I want to go back to Dragon Age 2. It's the one Dragon Age I haven't played, and it's all about him and the main character that you make. I really want to play it. It's like that 360 game that got away, Dragon Age 2.
The one that got away.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 360 now lives in the basement because I have 2 Xbox Ones.
That's right.
So
that's too.
Goodbye. Goodbye, 360. You're a dead system. You're dead to all of us.
Yeah.
You're dead to me.
Most of the titles I wish I could have played are now for free on Xbox Game Pass. And I installed a terabyte hard drive.
That's a good point. They really did do a great job of making the 360 obsolete, eh?
Oh yeah, they murdered it. Like They just like they might as well have like gone over to a giant lever that said Xbox 360 and just shut it down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a counter strategy for PlayStation. Like, there's a handful of PlayStation 3 games that are only really playable on PlayStation 3. Metal Gear Solid 4, for example. So, like, and I think Sony actively tries to keep like a fan community for their older consoles around because they've never been real big about being backwards compatible.
Yeah, I still got my PlayStation 2.
Oh man, yeah, there's some good shit for PlayStation.
My friend just modded his PlayStation 2, so he now has the entire PlayStation 2 library.
That's nice.
That is tight.
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I was like, man, there's so many great games. So
People are
many
still
bad
paying
games.
fucking $50. Did you see that, Dino? Final Fantasy X and X-2 are available on Nintendo Switch for $50.
I still have 10 for the PS1 and 10-2, and please know that I'm a sucker for a job system in an RPG. I thought 10-2 was garbage.
It's super weird, man. It's super weird.
Yeah, like you'd think I would like it because it's like real goofy and it's full of weird J-pop music.
Yeah,
and it's got a job system in it, and it's got an incomprehensible fantasy plot. And I'm like, I should love this game, and I hate this game.
That is weird. That seems like right
it's
up
just
your
like
alley.
a siren song for me, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. You don't have to tie me to the mast or put beeswax in my ears. I'm good. I hate this.
I think the only redeeming quality to it is now, in retrospect, it looks like it was a rough draft of Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, it was. It is that. It very much is that. And I didn't like 15 that much.
I really enjoyed 15. I never finished it. I got to the end and I was like, I'm done. But
I like, you know what? I don't like this battle system. Although the combo system, once I got used to it, was pretty actually great. I hated the magic system.
I like trying to take selfies with combat. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed your timeline, your Facebook timeline.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did post all of one because it was just a single click integration. You only had to press a single button and went straight to Facebook. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah, and I was like, now this is finally they had a character that speaks to me.
Yeah, he's pretty competent. His name was. He's pretty cool.
I was like, yeah, this guy gets it. That's the thing I miss is where you got to rename the guys, and I would name them after because they would give you like a character description, and then you got to name them whatever you wanted, and I liked that. I thought that was a little more immersive. I like to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I go way back on, especially Final Fantasy games, where my original 4 characters were named like Butt, Wang, Crap, and Turd.
Yes, the Amazing World.
Because you only have 4 characters. They only had 4 letters. You only had 4 characters per name.
The Amazing World of Gumball did a great bit where they basically did a Final Fantasy style game where they got sucked into it, and he got to name himself, and he named himself My Butt. And they're like, you named yourself My Butt? And so they're like, why would you do that? And so it says like, my butt has entered the room. My butt found a healing potion. And he's just like, and so I really enjoyed that. And also, whenever they won, they would jump in the air and spin around, and then Gumball would flash a peace sign by his eyes.
Nice.
And
I've taken the naming characters that I believe are going to be like damsel in distress and or we can't leave without X character. I've taken to naming them hand job.
Nice.
Because we're not leaving without hand job.
I would name them after. I would create my own. I would name them after everyone I knew. Especially,
I've done that a million times.
Where I'm like, this character is up from Self. Oh, I know what it is. Like, and it's just. But yes, I have had many fart and poop characters and Dumbo and things like that. But that's what I liked about. That's what I liked about Red Dead Redemption is that my take on Arthur Morgan and how he looks could, even though that it's only you can only modify so much, is decidedly different on how you or Eddie look with your Arthur Morgans.
Yeah, I try to make mine look like freaking Jim West from the old Wild Wild West show.
Yes.
Just with like the paisley sparkly vest, and he's just kind of duded up and has a big mustache.
Yes. Yeah. Mine literally wears the hat I'm wearing right now. And he wears a vest and a t-shirt, or and a black shirt and black pants. And his hair is always neatly. I always have him. He always gets the crew cut, and he's always clean shaven. So yeah, I went with a very Nate-esque Arthur Morgan take. But I did think about doing like a Triple H beard, with the mutton chops and the mustache.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, that's not who I am. I really also like that the people who sing the Old Town Road, which is an internet sensation song, their music video is just clips of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
And which I thought was very sharp. Like, I love this song. Rappy cowboy song. And it's all the rage on the TikTok. If you're a TikTok user, which I know I'm the only one here. And then when I say user, I usually go on and try to figure out how it's still a thing. I'm just like, so wait, this is what's popular now? Watching people all do the same dance to each other? That's all right. I guess beats graffiti. I guess whatever kids do now. So we've talked about a lot of things, a lot of fun to memorize and everything. But so how about that Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Burn to the ground.
And you guys, I want to see here if there's anything going on with the alarm brigade or whatever. Have you guys heard any shit talking about this? Because I've seen some people making counter arguments online, and I'm like, who has been talking shit about the Notre Dame burning? Like,
we've been talking shit like, yes.
I think the main criticism I hear people are weighing is like the amount of money that it's getting. Well,
yeah.
A lot of the whole false equivalency thing.
Yes, that is a lot of one. My niece posted one that said rebuild this cathedral 4 times, and it was like one other was the coral reefs, the rainforest, lake, and then
you can fix you can fix the Notre Dame Cathedral and still give Flint water and still like the money for all that shit exists. It's just that people don't give a shit.
Right. And then what I did is I wrote rebuild this cathedral over a picture of Shopko. You want to rebuild a cathedral, reopen the Shopko. Because that's my impression of Youpers on the TV6 News webpage. Yeah,
don't read comments on your local newspaper, local news news station. There be dragons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You'll feel bad for the world real quick.
That's an abyss that definitely stares back at you.
The thing that upsets me about the money pouring in to rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral, and yes, it is a world like historical site.
It's the world's.
It is extremely important, and it is a gorgeous, beautiful architectural marvel of a building. But the Catholic Church has like lots of money.
What?
Like a whole lot of money, so they can just rebuild it, and it's cool.
No, they set up a
You don't
GoFundMe.
need $1 billion.
They set up a GoFundMe account. Help us rebuild our church. Look at the Notre Dame.
Well, they didn't even have to. They're just like, hey, it's burning.
They can do what like every church I went to as a kid did, because I didn't go to I was a Baptist growing up, and I went to a bunch of unaffiliated Baptist churches. So you just had a fucking bake sale once a month for the building fund.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I think
So I
some
guess
French
start making
pastries.
brownies, people who work at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Oh man, brownies.
No, what's funny about how the Facebook algorithm works is I was at work, and so because with my job now, I drive, so I don't get to aimlessly look at Facebook because that's
Sure.
dangerous. So I don't get to go on it. So I'm on lunch, and I'm like, all right, let's catch up on the old news feed here, see what's going on. And so I'm scrolling down, and I see a picture of Quasimodo that somebody drew of a crying Quasimodo hugging what would appear to be in his hands a model of the Notre Dame, and I was like, timely, because I didn't know anything had happened. I was like, yeah, great drawing. Like, why is this here? Why is this on my feed? And so I get out to the car, and Sarah had picked me up from work, and I was like, yeah, damnedest thing. Like, nowhere in my algorithm did the actual fire or the event itself take place, but Facebook was like, you know what he'll like? This drawing. And that's it. Let's not give him any context. Just some randos like suggested post. Why would I like this, Facebook? What does that even mean? Why is he crying? I'm like, that doesn't even happen in the movie. He hates it there.
Just going straight to the responses, man.
I should have gone right. Yeah. Well, then it would just been so sad.
Life has turned into a game of Jeopardy.
Now, have you guys seen
Except
this
we've all got
this professional
three
gambler
whammies.
who is destroying Jeopardy?
Yeah.
I heard about that, yeah.
2 days in a row, he has taken the record amount of money.
Yeah. Good for him.
Now, what's fun about that is we actually have a tie to Jeopardy. Our very own Dino has been on Jeopardy. I've seen it. And I also saw his interview where he wore a Tiger's hat.
That's you're misremembering a little bit. I wore a Jeopardy hat.
Oh, it was a ball cap. That's what I remember.
Yes, it was a Jeopardy ball cap.
Yeah.
That they gave me to wear for interviews.
Nice.
Because Dino doesn't wear ball caps very often.
No, I only have two. To this day, I have two ball caps.
To see him in the ball cap, even then, even fourth dimensionally, I was just like, this looked forced. It looked forced. It'd be like me wearing a shirt and tie somewhere. Like if you saw me in a shirt and tie, you'd be like, is someone dead or married? Why are you in a shirt and tie? And then you ever see somebody in a shirt and tie that you know never wears a shirt and tie? And then when you wear it and you point at, you're just like, man, you're looking sharp. Oh, look at y'all dressed up. And then they try to act like that's, they're just like, oh, I wear this all the time. Yeah, that's why I made a point to mention it, because I had no idea of how you normally look on a day-to-day. Like one time I told it to a guy who was wearing like clothes that were like he had lost weight, and so they were all loose. And it's like, what are you trying to show the after picture? What? I got a new attitude. I got a new attitude. But you know what I'm going to do? Real quick, I'm just going to end the live stream on the YouTube here. It is 10 o'clock.
So you want me to end the Facebook as well?
You know what? We'll actually might as well, since it is 10 o'clock. We'll do the check it out. Then we'll kibitz for a little bit more off camera, and then we'll call it a night. I think that sounds good to everybody. Right. Am I on board with that? Am I in a good space with that, Dino?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's go around the room and tell everybody something to check out in the week to come. I'm going to start with Eddie. Eddie, what do you got for me this week?
All right, Tros, you son of a bitch. Here's my last pitch for Survivor.
Oh, God damn it.
The latest season of Survivor is called Edge of Extinction, and its whole twist this season.
Are there dinosaurs?
Is the losing team gets murdered.
The twist this season is that when you're voted off of the island,
you get murdered.
by dinosaurs.
Everybody gets a choice on whether or not they want to come back in the game or if they want to quit. And a couple of people have quit, and a couple of people go back. And
Well, what's the point of getting eliminated if you get to just come back?
because you got to fight for your chance to come back, it's not guaranteed. It's like the game. It's like a game within a game. It's like Inception, Survivor, man.
I'm taking my glasses off dramatically.
The politics
What?
get pretty wild, and another thing I would stress you to remember is that one thing about the game going on for 14 years is that there have been whole generations of people who've been watching this game.
Yeah, who grew up watching it at this point now. Yeah.
And like these people are on the show. Like they're not just watching anymore. So it's not like you're watching back in the Richard Hatch days when it was all part social experiment and people were figuring things out. Like people who are playing this game like on a skill professional level. They work the way they handle the politics and the way they plan and scheme 3 steps ahead. It is interesting to watch. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what I'm checking out in this fucking week.
Hold on. I'll never forget trying to negotiate my student loans. We're very poor. Hee-haw. Yes, you are. You have a clock that yells hee-haw at you. Yeah, so check out the Survivor now, but that's only now. Again, I keep in mind I don't watch network TV or like watch as I like to call it, peasant television. Now is it still on CBS? Can you do, or is it?
Yeah. That's one shitty thing about it is that I don't know what seasons are on. Some seasons are available on Hulu. And I think some are available on Netflix. All of them are available on CBS Access, but you're not going to fucking pay for CBS Access if you don't have. So
I know, isn't it? What is the price for CBS Access? Does anybody know?
If I remember correctly, it was $10 a month.
$10.
Yeah, an unconscionable sum, considering what you get with Hulu and Netflix for the same price.
Well, I mean, because the thing is that CBS has licensed a lot of their classic television to Hulu. Cheers is owned by CBS, and a lot of the
Yeah.
So you don't even. It's not like even like you're getting into CBS library stuff that you can't get anywhere else. Now they just have some core original programs.
Yeah. And I haven't been if Star Trek Discovery were good enough, that would trigger in that Survivor.
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery is not that great.
No, it's just not.
It's fine. It's just not that great.
But
it just feels to me like something's missing. I don't know.
Everybody's talking about the new Twilight Zone, though. Time Magazine says it's it is akin to the original Rod Serling level of writing. And so, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. And they never said that about the 80s version. Then apparently there was also one other one that I was unaware of. Because they said that this is the 4th incarnation of the Twilight Zone series. And I was only familiar with the original and the one in the 80s.
Yeah. Was there one in the early 90s?
Apparently there was one in like 90s, 2000s maybe. I don't know. I literally I haven't looked it up yet, but it was yesterday last night when I was watching my Facebook videos. It was a commercial in the middle of a slew of Brooklyn Nine-Nine clips that I watched and laughed out loud. It's I really want to check it out, but I don't want to pay $10, even if it's because they didn't dump it. You know what I mean? They didn't say like, oh, here's an entire season. They're releasing them every week.
Right.
And so, if I knew that like at the end of the season, all of them would be there, then I would pay $10 for the month and binge watch. Because then, hey, $10 for 23 episodes, that's not a bad deal. And then just remember to cancel it. That's the catch-22. Nobody ever remembers to cancel until you got about 2 months past when you stopped watching the thing.
Yeah. By then
You're like, fuck. I guess I better watch Little House or whatever. Like, they do have Highway to Heaven. All right. Said no one ever. It is the only place I can watch an uncommercial interrupted Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, God friended me. All right.
God friended me. Or that new one with Daniel Radcliffe and Steve Buscemi.
Yep, that definitely looks like a TV show that'll be on in the evenings.
Oh, God. I'll tell you this, Dino, what do you got for us? Well, actually, great on the Survivor and a very odd pitch from us about CBS All Access.
Yes.
An anti-pitch.
So, many reservations.
I'm going to recommend it's on Netflix, and it's Maria Bamford's Big Baby. Old Baby, sorry.
Old Baby.
My wife just corrected me. It's Old Baby. We watched it this afternoon, and it is so good.
Yeah?
It's so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, Megan Andrade, or Maggie, here on the show.
Co-host of the show.
That's a family friend.
No kidding.
No kidding. She told me that one time because I sang the praises of Maria Bamford on my Facebook one time, and she was like, "Oh yeah," and then I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." That's wild. I felt for Maria Bamford when I saw her Comedy Central Presents special many moons ago, many moons ago, and then the Comedians of Comedy. I mean, just phenomenal. Just great person. Great, very funny. I like how now anytime you feel like you've heaped too much praise, we have to go into a Donald Trump where it's just like too many compliments. It sounds disingenuous. Go to Donald Trump. But there I was eating just some of the greatest Big Macs I've ever had in my life. My Donald Trump sounds like he is a sleepy bear.
Yes. Yes. Kind of like soothing.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Mush. Good night, old lady in the corner whispering hush. You know what? I think I would rather have him read good night stories than be president. I would have paid to Donald Trump read a nice good night story.
I would have voted for that.
Yeah, I would have. All right, if I don't win the presidency,
Russia wouldn't even have to influence me.
Yeah. Now, see, I think the best job for Donald Trump is Joe in the Joe versus the volcano movies, where he has to jump into the volcano and die.
See, it was like,
That's what I think he would be best suited to do.
when he was just a dumb old man on The Apprentice, it's akin to the Spring Lake story from the top of the show. Like, when he was nothing, like no big deal. You know what I mean? We just let him have his show, and it was nothing. And then he was like, "I'm going to be president," and then people were like, "No, you're not." If we all would have just the fact that he was, even running, like if we would have just ignored the whole thing, he wouldn't be here right now. It's fact. People voted for him out of he is our spite president. That's how
I feel like our president is like what would happen in like a shitty sci-fi show where they had to stop something in the past from happening, but they fucking failed.
No, they succeeded, but it made it worse.
Yeah, because that's the thing, man. Is you can't undo everything. There's always, when you kill a murderer, the number of murderers does not go down.
Yeah, that's the butterfly effect shit.
I was quoting Batman. Because again, I'm watching a lot of Batman DC clips, and I like that they use in a lot of those DC DVD movies. The Batman from Batman the Animated Series is the voice of Batman. Is probably my favorite Batman.
Who's that? Pat Conroy?
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. Yeah.
However, the guy who was not Ryan Stiles on the Drew Carey show did a great job.
And Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yes. I thought he was good. I thought he did a great job because that show ran the fine line between action and camp. It was like an action comedy, Batman, and of course Paul Rubens as Batmite was really great. I could do a whole episode.
I rather enjoyed John DiMaggio as Aquaman.
Yes, and in the Batmite in the last episode, they changed his voice to Ted McGinley because the whole joke was that Batman Brave and the Bold had jumped the shark, and so Batmite made Aquaman Ted McGinley, aka Jefferson from Married with Children, and who is synonymous with the show Jumping a Shark, even though Married with Children went on for a long time after joining the cast, which it kind of
that only happened with Happy Days.
Happy Days and The Love Boat.
Yes.
But so I mean those were two big examples, but luckily he broke his own curse with Married with Children. But anyway, what was great is that he actually broke the fourth wall and talked about that. Because they were just like, he's like, what's wrong with your voice, Aquaman? He's like, well, now I'm Ted McGinley. And they're like, oh, great. Then the show has jumped the shark. And he's like, you know what? And went off on this great tirade about it. It was really, my kids didn't understand what the fuck was going on. It was a joke for the parents. But anyway, for me this week, I've just been watching a lot of stand-up with my son. So, check out the Kevin James, the Kevin James special on Netflix that's on there right now, which was Never Don't Give Up, which is a really, it's a nice show. I mean, it's no Sweat the Small Stuff. I think Sweat the Small Stuff is a fucking hysterical special. It makes me laugh so hard, but this one holds its own. It's just I think Sweat the Small Stuff is just so big. But he does some crowd work at the end talking about tattoos, and he actually asks people what tattoos they have, and he just does some really great stuff with that. Talks about just current life foibles, and especially he talks about being a parent and stuff. So it's kind of an interest, it's kind of fun for that, being that I am one. But it's still a good special. And his bit about Under Armour, where he told his agent to see if he could become an Under Armour spokesman because The Rock became one. And his manager was like, yeah. He was like, I called him, I told him that, and he called me back like 5 minutes later, and I was like, well, that was quick. And he goes, yeah, it was. They didn't like it, at all. Because but let's be honest, a lot of fat guys wear Under Armour.
Everybody I know who wears Under Armour is decidedly not ripped.
Yeah, nobody. I've not met one person who looks like Dwayne
not to say they're all just big old Jabba the Hutt men, but they're not. They're just normal dudes.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not like big jacked muscle monsters.
Nobody looks like Dwayne Johnson who wears Under Armour.
Nobody looks like Dwayne Johnson, I think is the correct sentence. That man is impossibly jacked.
Sometimes when I stand in front of one of those cardboard cutouts at Coney Island, I look like it. And then Sarah has the one where I'm carrying her.
Yeah, boy.
Yes. He is I watched some of my old, when I was in the rabbit hole, there's some 90s clips of The Rock when women were talking about how hot he was. And he has kind of a dad bod then. I mean, he's not fat.
No, he was 90s jacked.
Yeah, he was
he had the no one had a six pack in the 90s.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone tells you.
Athletic paunch, he was he was defined, but he still had a bit of a belly.
Yeah, he had big pecs, big arms, and you could tell he was a really strong dude.
Yeah.
Big pecs, big arms, big legs, little bit of a pooch.
Yeah.
Not a big one, but you could tell he deadlifted a lot, so he had a ton of stomach muscle, so he was real strong.
Yeah, and then somewhere he just went over to Bane's house.
Yeah.
And just was like, So what do you use exactly? Because now if you
What's it
follow,
called? Venom?
And now he eats 33 pounds of fish and 2 grains of rice a day.
yeah, and then on his cheat day, there's like it's him
He
in
has
front of.
4 grains of rice and 33.
No, he like one time he showed you it's like him like roaring at the camera, and he's got a plate of like Uncle Buck pancakes, like where the like that John Candy makes in the movie, where he uses like a shovel to flip them over. There's just these huge buckwheat pancakes, and he's like, "Today's cheat day." And then another time he had like all these double dough pizzas, and he's like, "It's cheat day," and I'm like, "Man, that's like what I've eaten in a year."
Yeah.
And I mean, apparently that's also the day that he drinks all of his tequila, and I mean all of it in the house that he has, and he has a lot because he's rich.
Yeah, but when you're like 6'5" and 280 and made of chiseled iron,
Yeah,
like,
0.01%.
you can drink a lot of tequila quickly.
Negative 0.01% body fat. Like, that's not even enough. Your skin is actually not fat. That is just literally exposed muscle that we're looking at right now. You have tattooed your own muscles. But yeah, he is amazingly jacked. Check out, I lost track as usual. Check the small stuff if you can, and definitely check out Never Don't Give Up. And so, just comedy is for everyone. But yeah, so that'll do it for this week. On behalf of Dino, Eddie, myself, and Maggie, who said she would rather go spend time with her children. And then
No, now Nate's being polite. She was like, "I'm not doing the show tonight. Huff my shorts."
she was, her daughter was like, "Oh, hey, I'm in this thing and I'm speaking at it." And we're like, yeah, but you could talk about your hometown for an hour and a half.
Hey, we were good this episode.
Yeah, we only devoted 45 minutes to Goldie.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's our normal ratio.
It is he's a character. Honestly, everybody has a great Goldie story that ranges from the
we need to see if
absurd.
we can get him on the show again before we go on summer hiatus.
Yes. The stories range from the insane to the criminally insane. Some of the stuff that you'll hear from us.
It's insane, criminally insane, and then the very rare end of 2001: A Space Odyssey nuts.
That's the truth too. All right, so on behalf of all of us here at FGW, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
We're on video.